This is Erik, owner of Farpoint Farms, and today, since it's winter time, and since we're expecting a pretty good snowstorm tomorrow, I figured I'd take the opportunity to go over my snowplow for my Husqvarna. This is a Craftsman GT Dozer blade. Basically, it's a snowplow. You can use it for pushing gravel and dirt, but its main function around the farm is for pushing snow. And to that end, it works fairly well. I'd say 8 to 10 inches is where it really cuts off. And this is a very capable tractor. This is a Husqvarna GT 52 XLSI. It has the locking rear differential. If you can see in the video, it also has ag tires with chains and wheel weights. So as far as traction goes, it's not an issue of that. It's just an issue of if the snow gets much higher than 10 inches, as it plows, it tends to just curl up over it and dump off to the side. You could still plow past that, but you have to take much shorter bites out of the snow. And if you've done snow plowing, you know what I'm talking about. So anyway, as far as the unit itself goes, overall I'm pretty happy with it. It fits any Craftsman garden tractor, and obviously Husqvarna garden tractors. Probably fits a few other models. The complaints I have mostly to do with the abuse that I've given it. I think this thing was probably designed for a driveway 200 or 300 feet in total dimension. Mine is probably 1,400 feet in length down to the bottom, and it's very steep. It's also gravel and has a lot of ruts and dips and stuff, and to that end, it's taken a little bit more of a beating than it probably would if it was a paved driveway or in a relatively flat area of the country. Its function and operation are just as you would expect. From the driver's seat, you can change the position of the blade from left to right, which is very convenient. And I like that. And you can also, using the other handle, raise and lower the plow from the ground and lift it up. I have no complaints there. The complaints I do have with this unit are, and I'm going to pause the camera now and I'll bring you over closer and I'll show you what 70 hours of wear have done to this. And this is where I don't know if they can so much make improvements to it, because the metal's certainly thick enough. I think it's abuse on my end. I hope to get about 150 hours, so I'm about halfway through the lifespan of this. However, I have a feeling that after this season is over, I'll have to disassemble this at least halfway and make some adjustments, tighten some things up, and kind of smooth some edges out. So let me grab the camera, I'll get you a little closer. Okay, so the first issue I have with this, and I believe this would be an issue even on paved driveways, this is just, I don't know if it's a design issue or if it's an issue of using the wrong steel or just the wrong setup, period. But these are skids here. These bolt on. They have an adjustable height, and it's to keep the blade of the plow from coming into direct contact with your driveway, whether it be gravel or asphalt. The problem is it's a good piece of steel, but it wears out extremely quickly. It seems that every season I've had to buy a set of these, and they're not inexpensive. They're like $30 for the pair and another $20 shipping. So that's $50 a season in a replaceable part. They failed the first year under warranty, both sides, and when I called Sears, they refused to honor the warranty. They called it a wear item. I thought that was pretty crummy, but it is what it is. This last year, I took these off when I purchased the new set, and I actually bent and welded a plate onto them that doubles the thickness. So I hope to get 2 seasons out of these. That would be pretty nice. I'm going to pause the camera again. We'll get close, and I'll show you a close-up of what I've done to it and what the unit is that's broken. Okay, so here's the bracket. This bolts here, and this piece comes down and turns here. The steel is, it's fairly thick, but and maybe on asphalt it wouldn't be so bad. I have a feeling it would be, though. I think it's just a design issue. They should have had more meat down here. But it always seems to wear out right at this leading edge right here, and it fails. This back piece breaks off, and you end up just dragging this thing along. So this year, it's kind of hard to see with the dirt on it, I welded a second plate on here. See that there? That's just the same thickness as the original, just double the thickness. And so far, it hasn't failed, so I might get the entire season out of it. Both sides do it. It is what it is. I wish the design was better. Maybe somebody could come up with an aftermarket solution that works better. I guess I should be thankful that Craftsman still has the parts available for it. They still make this unit, but you know, Sears is having some financial trouble. So now I'm going to move on to the other piece that is causing me trouble, and I'm going to show you why it's causing me trouble. And I'm not blaming this on the design. I think this is me abusing the unit. You know, 1,400-foot driveway, lots of ruts, lots of rocks poking up. And I think I've just kind of beat it up. And what I've done can be fixed, and I'm going to do something about it in the spring. I just was surprised that it started giving me trouble here in the middle of winter. Okay, this is the plate here, and there's a sandwiched piece. You have the rod that comes back, and this attaches to the frame of your tractor. This is actually two pieces. They're, you know, that far apart, and they sandwich that. There's a pivot point here. When you adjust the blade from frontward facing to left to right, you're pulling on the handle, and this pulls back and it allows you to switch. As you can see, I've got damage here, and that is probably normal wear. I'm not positive, but in the spring I intend to take this apart, use a file, and clean these up. Just round these edges off, and I think that'll make the engagement of left, straight, and right much easier. That part there I think is just normal wear. Again, the steel is plenty thick. It's just some damage here, and the only way to really get in there and fix it properly is to disassemble this. And I need to disassemble this anyway, and I'm going to show you the other problem I'm having that is the big problem. Okay, that is the big problem. You see the angle here, how this comes up and is not sitting flush? Okay, I can't really do this with one hand, but I can try. It has spread. Those were supposed to be fairly tight. They're not supposed to have a gap there, and that's spread out. And again, I think it has spread out not because the design is inferior. I think it is because I've hit the front of this plow on so many objects. It pushes down on the entire assembly, and it has caused that to that sandwich there between these two lower and upper pieces to spread out. I'm not blaming the designer for that. I think that's entirely operator abuse. But it is a problem. As the season gets on, it spreads more and more. It's becoming more of a problem. So I really do need to take care of that sooner rather than later. I'd like to get through the rest of the winter. Obviously, those of you who live in colder climates know that it can be a real bother trying to get in there when your hands are frozen and do work like this. But my plan is to take that center bolt that sandwiches the two apart, take it apart, and push the metal back down to spec, put it back together. I've tried to figure if there's any way to keep it sandwiched together, but unfortunately there isn't. There's no meat, there's not enough meat on the bottom to put a bolt between it to kind of hold them together. So that's what I'm stuck with. I'm not really bothered by that, but it is a problem while plowing. Overall, though, I'm pleased. I mean, it's a nice unit. The front blade, you know, is you can turn this around if you wear it out, and I haven't. You can see the dirt on there from getting into the sand and all that, but this is actually replaceable. But the wear on it is hardly any wear at all. If it is wear out, you can take this off and flip it around according to the manual, but I don't think I'll ever need to do that in the life of this unit. I have hit objects hard enough that it has engaged the springs and pulled this forward. About knock you out of your seat, but no appreciable damage to the plow itself. Like I said, overall I'm going to give the unit probably a B or a B minus. For normal users in a flat area or with a paved driveway, this probably lasts the life of your tractor. For the kind of abuse that I'm putting it through up here in the mountains, I still think I'll probably get 150 hours out of it before it needs major replacement parts. Maybe even longer than that. Anyway, this is Erik, owner of Farpoint Farms, and this has been my review of the Craftsman GT Dozer blade, which is available currently. You can catch it on sale when the spring comes. If you can hold out through this winter, you can usually pick these things up for right around $300. I think I paid about $349 for mine with shipping. That's it. Take care.